You finally found the perfect home, you came to a price agreement, you got your contract signed, and now all you have to do is sit back, relax, and wait for the closing to happen, right? Actually, there are a number of steps before you get done and all the way to the closing table, and one of the first most important steps is to have a home inspection done. Whether you're buying a brand new home or one that's been loved for many, many years, it really doesn't matter. A home inspection is a really good idea, not only to help you become a well-informed homeowner, but it may give you negotiating standpoint to be able to lower the purchase price. And it may help you lower your insurance premiums based on your wind mitigation and your 4-point inspection. So today I'm going to speak with Mark Watson. He is the owner and partner of Double Scope Inspections. Mark and I have worked on a number of home deals together, and I look forward to talking to him, let him teach us a little bit about what are the different kinds of inspections, how you decide which is the right one, and how to get through an inspection unscathed and in good shape. Thanks so much for joining me today, Mark. This is going to be a really good interview. So tell me first and foremost a little bit about who your company is, Double Scope, and how you got started, what you do that's maybe different from other guys.
So my name is Mark with Double Scope Inspections. Double Scope has dual meaning. It was founded by my twin brother and I and my cousin. So it's a family affair. We have 14 inspectors now, and we just launched a pest company. What sets us apart versus other home inspection companies are we actually do every inspection you could think of. We do mold, lead, water testing, and now septic. So we're licensed in all of those different channels. We do our own WDO because we are a pest company. Any kind of inspection you could think of, we do it, including the HUD engineering report, which is for manufactured homes.
Wow. So when there's so many different, I'm sure most people have never even heard of half the inspections you just talked about. When there are so many different kinds of inspections, how do you as a new home buyer decide which ones you need on a home that's, say, 10 years old?
So with home inspections, there's the basic home inspection. Mm-hmm. That is for the buyer and for the agent to negotiate. Now we know most homes in Florida are as is. Mm-hmm. So seller says it's as is, I'm not doing nothing. But sometimes on those inspections, you can find some very high priced items that need remedied, such as the roof, electrical, plumbing, or HVAC. Honestly, that's an optional inspection for the home buyer. Okay. That's not even a necessity. The necessity is the 4-point and the wind mitigation. Right. That's for insurance, which I'm sure we'll discuss later on. Yep. And then if it's a VA loan, then the WDO, which is a termite inspection. Mm-hmm. Those are the only necessary inspections.
Okay, so then the rest of them, like the AC or the sewer or something like that, that's just because you want a sense of security and knowing that it's in good shape.
Correct. So a home inspection from Double Scope is more like a whole new owner's manual. You kind of want to see what you're working with, what needs to be done. Let me get my honey to do checklist so I can either fix it or talk to the sellers. Mm-hmm. And that's where the agent and the buyer would then kind of.
Right. And like I said a moment ago in the introduction, that an inspection really, for the most part, is a great thing for your insurance to lower your insurance prices. It's a great thing for your honey-do list to really let you get to know the house. But then the other really big thing it's for is if there is something that's, because Florida is an as-is state, which means unless something really big pops that's potentially a deal breaker, there's probably not much in the way of negotiating that's going to happen.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's where we come along the necessities for insurance. So homes that are 15 years or older, you need a 4-point report. State Farm and some of the other inspections, they want it 10 years or older. So the 4-point is where we look at the 4 main parts of the home: roof, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC system. Mm-hmm. So that 4-point basically qualifies the house to tell the insurance company that yes, this house is insurable. From there, every home, even the new homes, would need a wind mitigation.
Right.
Wind mitigation tells them what kind of credit for hurricane, such as do you have hurricane windows? Is your roof tied down with the proper nailing? Does it have the hurricane straps or clips? Mm-hmm. That kind of stuff. So you get, I think, about 6 different credits you have an option for. So just because you don't have hurricane windows doesn't mean you don't get other credits.
Right.
So sometimes the geometry of your roof. Is it a hip roof? Hip roof means all the sides are sloped. You get a credit for that. If you got a triangle roof, that's called a gable, you don't get a credit. So there's other things that the insurance companies are looking for.
Okay, but you can get that whether it's a brand new house or a lovingly used house for however many years.
Correct.
So we've touched on it a couple of times. I always recommend an inspection, no matter the age of the house, even if we've watched it being built for the last 4 months. Why would somebody want to do an inspection on a brand new home?
So in Florida, and I'm sure this is everywhere, which builder is the best builder? The answer is going to be, I don't know. Because all the builders use the same HVAC guy, the same roofer, the same tile guy, the same stucco.
The limited pool of labor.
They use the same pros.
Right.
So with that said, there's 2 people that makes a new build purchase great. That's the supervisor for the builder and then the realtor. Those 2 are key. And the realtor would say, hey, listen, you got a new build, do a home inspection. And again, because you're using imperfect people to do the work,
Humans.
we're going to find some issues. For instance, one of the new houses we found that the main drain wasn't even tied in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We found no insulation in the attic, loose shingles.
So there's another kind of inspection you do for the seller's agent or for the people who are getting ready to sell a house, not just the buyer. Why would you do that?
So when you're putting your house on the market, I know your house is worth $1 million, but sometimes you might get that $1 million offer, but then something could trigger where the buyer walks away from the house. So we would then encourage a pre-listing home inspection.
If you as a seller have a home that's maybe a little bit older or some of the systems in your house are a little bit older, it's a great thing to get an inspection and be well informed before that other inspector ever comes in and says it's shot and you know it's in perfectly good shape.
Right.
And you can go, I have an inspection, right?
So that's just a 4-point evaluation. That's the cheapest, but that's really all you need. But if you want to really hear everything that an inspector would say about a home inspection, then you could do the pre-listing full home. That's where we check everything just like we would for the buyer.
So what is it, I mean, there's a lot of inspection companies out there. So what makes a really good inspection company or what makes maybe you want to pass on that one kind of guy?
So there's 3 kinds of inspectors out there. There's the kind that beat their chest and tell you how smart they are and how dumb you are. Sometimes they're trying to justify their job. Those ones we call them deal killers. There are really good inspectors around here. Usually you can see their attitude. Double scope inspections, we call it like we see it. So we're not here to scare anybody. We understand sellers want to sell, buyers want to buy. We're not going to put our opinion on it.
Right.
So if you start hearing a home inspector talk about their opinion, that's a red flag. I don't know about this neighborhood, or I don't know about that house. I really think you could look for something better. That's really a bad sign for a home inspector. So you want an inspector that just calls it like they see it. They're not sugarcoating nothing. They see what they see and they tell you how to remedy. You also got those kind of inspectors that are new. New inspectors. Sometimes they fake it till they make it. We all been there sometime.
Sure.
So in that process, they're really unsure of what they're looking at. So sometimes they could scare buyers. So you want to look at how long they've been in business. You want to look at their Google reviews, and sometimes just ask your fellow friends if they ever heard of them. So those are different things that you could see. So if they're brand new, your price might be a little cheaper, but do you really want to risk that?
Right.
If they're I'm smarter than you, their price is